And we'll go live. Dude, yeah, dude, I am a supportive father to Falgi. You know, I try to model what I wish my father was. Anyway, Falgi and I are going to go play catch on Saturday. Because I never got that chance with my father, and I don't want him to grow up without that opportunity. Holy shit, dude. Bro, okay, bro. All right. I'm still in my work clothes, all right? I know I'm dressed like a waiter, but like, I'm like the sexy waiter that you tip like 25%. All right. Will you teach him how to ride a bike and shave? Of course, of course. Why would I not, really, when you think about it? Dude, I can't fucking keep a schedule right now. It's really fucking difficult with everything. It's really fucking difficult. So for example, a little life update, because God knows you people give a shit about my day to day. Where do I begin? I am not gonna talk details, and it's not like I'm like I am broke as fuck. I mean, the business, you know, required a lot of upfront capital, but you know, I'm working as a teacher, and you know, I'm kind of going through a similar experience as with my MCN. If you guys remember my thing that was happening with my MCN Omnia Media, yeah, yeah, been dealing with a bit of that, which is taking a lot, and it's a little stressful. But you know, we get to the end of the program, and then I open up a store, and I'm done. And I'll talk about it more, which I didn't sign anything that said I couldn't talk about that, by the way, so I could talk about this, but I am going to leave it be for now and then talk about it after, as is some of the stories about this whole experience that I've been participating in for like the last 2 years on and off. Aside from that, I had a surprise Sunday. I had not a surprise Sunday. I had a surprise Friday. So I had a surprise Friday of work. And I, you know, it was like a career fair thing, you know, where we were just like chaperoning, really. And so that was interesting. The person that I was chaperoning, he's my oldest student. He's like 19, and he's like,
I'm doing
yeah,
my part.
I've seen you before. I saw you on the stream where you roasted that what's his guy, Just the Robot. Yeah, on Chud Logic. And I'm sitting there eating a margarita pizza, okay? And I just go, no way. No way. And so he's like, yeah, I know what happened to Boblax. Thankfully, I didn't see anything. And I'm like, and he's like, I don't chat or anything. You know, I just put it on while I'm like working on stuff. And he's like, yeah, I know you make like videos, but I mainly watch like streams and stuff. He's like, you know, like Chud or blah, blah, blah. He was like giving names of different people. The internet version of when you see your teacher at the grocery store. But then I started quizzing him. I started quizzing him, guys. And he's like, oh, Salvo Pancakes? Yeah, with the Keemstar show. It was like, what? And it was just, and he's like, and he was like, yeah, you're not like how you are online at all. It's like a different person.
Gooning fruit? Raised eyebrow emoji. Boy, what? Well, here's a 5.
But yeah, he knows the lore. He knows the lore. And yeah, that's kind of scary when you think about it, dude. He's chill though. He's a very well-performing student. New lore for the archive for boss. Yummy lore. But yeah, so that was the thing that happened. I've been in and out working in the store, setting up. We're building tables. We built some Warhammer shelves. Got some Warhammer product in. I'm really hoping we can finish the store before we open, so that way we can get the Wizards of the Coast stuff in, because Wizards of the Coast wants the store done. They want to know that we have a store, so that way they send us stuff. And it's very frustrating, and I feel like we're working on a huge time crunch. I don't want to launch without D&D and Magic the Gathering, but we might have to launch without those things in stock, and then like a week or two later, hopefully we get them in stock. But that's really fucking frustrating, actually.
Axis 1247 celebrates 21 months of membership. Diesel decided he wanted to do TCG shop.
I gotta be honest, having played both the game and doing it in real life, it's not the same at all. It's not the same. I haven't done this much physical labor in my entire life. Okay. Dude, Donald Trump wants to send all the illegals back, dude. Who the fuck are you going to get to do your manual labor? Because I'm doing it, and I'm like, damn, my back hurts, my arm hurts, my legs hurt, my everything hurts, my fucking lumbago hurts, my fucking rectum is in places it shouldn't be. Like, I'm in a lot of pain. Like, if I was a hard-working 45-year-old Mexican man named Juan, I would be able to paint that whole fucking thing in an afternoon, dude. But I paint in the store, I'm sitting there going, damn, I understand why that happens, okay? Because I'm tired, dude. I'm not a carpenter, so maybe you're just weak. I resent that. But I'm not a carpenter, and we have luck. She does set design for like plays, or she has done that, and she's like going to film school or something, right? Yes, I have not one, but wait, I guess if you include myself, I have three. Myself, Joey, and now the carpenter. She is she's a film major as well. So it's 3 film majors all working in a game store. And so she's been building the tables, and she's like a fucking god at table building for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, we're building the tables, and she's Miss John Carpenter. Guys, I think he's weak. His hands must be soft and scented of lavender. Damn right. That's the favorite scent of your mother. Maybe she reads instructions better than you. No, unironically, she does. Because we were putting together the Warhammer shelves, and she, like, instantly knew how to put it together. So 3 film majors walk into a game store and say, ow, my back. Well, you know, I think this is really just the film equivalent of we've decided that we're taking retail to the next level. But yeah, it's been a lot of that. I have it on recording. I have a bunch on recording. I've been going in and filming a bunch of stuff, and I have a time lapse and all that, and it's a lot. It's a lot of fun. I can't even say that it's not. I'm really excited to do it. Of course I am. I think it'll be much healthier for me. Don't get me wrong, I love doing this, but if I do just streaming, I become crazy. Like, I listen to NPR now. I'm old. I did see a TV in the store. You gonna put commentary streams on it? No. Cat did. I want to replace the opener with what Cat did recently, because I thought can confirm I'm much better at putting things together than my husband. Also better at installing flooring than he is, and building things in general. All the saws are mine, lol. Okay, I'm sorry, but with your name being Soft White Undergun, me reading that, sorry to presume your gender, but I'm picturing a woman typing that right now, and for the longest time I've been like, that's a male chatter, because who the fuck else would know about like Ethan Ralph related material, right? Yeah, I'll show the cat art right now. Here. So she cooked. Well, maybe they're gay, Diesel. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god. I want to have an opening that features like everybody at some point. So this is really sick. The spider's definitely Hal. There's no way the spider's not Hal. That's like her thing. I want to get one of like everyone though, which would be sick. I mean, we got one of Scarlet Reaper who keeps coming back from the dead. Heard Scarlet Reaper killed Falgi. So Kat did this in After Effects. And then I think it was painted in Clip Studio. But yeah, it's super nice, dude. Super nice. But holy shit, dude. Kat cooked. She's been on the up with her stuff lately. So 100% commission Kat. Make her a wealthy lady, dude. But holy shit, dude. It's been some time since I last streamed. Okay. Now, I know there's some things. You should put 10-hour Portal music interrupted by King Ass Ripper on the TV, the store TV. No. We're gonna do like lo-fi or something, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I know there's some things going on right now and commentary. I'm not John debate rape, so I don't really understand what's happening with Ethan Hassan Destiny. I heard Willie Mac made like a bad video or something. I don't know or particularly care. I just rather just do whatever and make whatever content I want. And so yeah, I haven't finished the fucking jar debate. I want to watch it. I said I wanted to watch it. I only watched the clip that you saw on last stream. I want to look at Vincent's content. Okay, I want to have a silly little time looking at this weird dysfunctional adult male. All right, that's it. That's all I really want to do. Outside of that and a billion years of Ethan Hassan Destiny, I don't really know what else there is to cover right now. It's kind of slow. Anything Rose Malay does is for the attention of strangers on the internet. So I mean, ultimately, if she passed on and died, the world would be able to reallocate the social benefits that she receives to somebody more deserving of it. That's all I'm saying. That's a crazy thing to say, Diesel. I'm just saying that the food stamps would be much better used on a different person than Rose Malay. Simple as. Not the craziest thing you said. But yeah, there's definitely some other stuff I want to cover, but not particularly like current stuff. I keep saying I'm gonna do an Austin Jones stream. That hasn't happened yet. I'm sure it won't happen this week. Melon stream, am I right? Slow, you're calling Willie Mac show accusing Queeman for bad empanada doxing him and his wife as slow. I don't follow any of that, but yeah, I did think it was a reach. I don't really particularly know Willie Mac. We've had one conversation. And you know the one conversation I had with Willie Mac was me blackballing Nani. So there you go. Imagine being able-bodied enough to be on Beast Games. You're collecting Social Security. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you can be on Beast Games, you should not. You should work. Melons are going out of season. Clock is ticking. You'd get so much money if you covered EHD, man. No, I'm actually like, you know, I don't have time for that, actually. There we go. That's the best way to put it. But yeah, holy shit. You know, Axis, I didn't put 2 and 2 together that fucking Rose is able-bodied enough to beast the games it up, okay? But not able-bodied enough to work. But yeah, I don't know. I find myself more interested in like the ACC stuff. What else? I like lolcow stuff. I really like doing VTuber stuff. I know some people fucking hate the VTuber stuff I do. I don't care and will continue to do it. And there may come a point in time where I fully become green. I don't know when that is, but what the fuck is SCC? But I like doing the VTuber stuff. I heard there was a VTuber Google Docky that came out, so expect VTuber Diesel sometime this week. Because the Google Docky... I assume you weren't covering HD because you didn't want a pipe bomb sent to your new store. That too, actually. Slideshow commentary community? Oh, okay. Okay. It's related to the ACC. Okay. Interesting. Jar is SCC. Jar is mentally ill, but I mean, I guess we could just, you know, agree to disagree. We can do a little tipster. Hi, JFA. I heard you were in Beckett's stream saying something funny. I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Mediker's reacted to the stream.
Particular one.
Individuals.
Oh yeah, he had to call him on StreamYard. Unironically, Rose is a good case study that niche internet communities rot your brain. There's a world where Rose finishes her advanced school because she didn't get shot by reality TV. Get one shot. I like the implication is that Alec Baldwin shot her, you know? Dude, remember when he shot that lady? That was crazy. Holy shit. Both of those docs are over 90 pages each. Okay. Damn. Well, guess it'll be a long stream.
I actually think Vincent is Brian Mullins if Brian wasn't a furry and had the cadence of...
Alright, so, okay, alright. I know this a little bit of a tangent, but does anybody feel like Brian Mullins is like the name of like a character in a webcomic for some reason? Like, I feel like... I know that Homestuck is like becoming popular again because of the Vivzy Pop... Sorry, I said a trigger phrase for some people. You know, I know Homestuck is becoming popular for the Vivzy Pop Toby Fox pilot, where Toby Fox is voicing Egbert. Some of you have no idea what any of that means. But Brian Mullins feels like the name of a character in Homestuck for some reason, or like a Control-Alt-Delete character.
Tarded G-Man.
Maybe.
Yeah, Brian Mullins sounds like a cartoon character.
Okay, we have a Fauci.
Hello.
I like the way Vincent talks. It makes it sound like... it makes it sound like sometimes people say Fauci's name, but they say it in a way that makes it sound like they're talking about Fauci. Oh, Fauci has joined the stream. Are you speaking in tongues? I never, ever read Homestuck. Okay, Ash. Ash, you're like... If anybody read Homestuck that I know, I'd place money on you.
Hold up. Because I actually... Okay, so I want to make sure they can hear you on my side as well.
Okay. Yep. Double check. Check.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do that because for some reason, how do I lower you?
Ash is the most Homestuck coded person I know.
Okay.
Figure out how to lower your volume.
Your money is on Ash, not Do. Yeah, because Do is too based. Do is too based. Do definitely knows what Homestar Runner is. Ash is crashing out of VC right now.
Yes, a lot of my former people that I knew use this app, so that's
Oh.
why I went this way.
Very cool. Yeah, no problem. I'm trying to see if there's a way.
The way this conversation goes at the beginning. So for those of you unfamiliar with the thing I'm reacting to tonight, basically Falgi got in a call with Vincent Martin. Vincent Martin is the guy who did a video basically being like, I think everybody's got this whole Jar guy pinned wrong, right? And Jar's whole reason for like still existing is that he increasingly keeps going to more and more mentally disabled people in order to eke out like a small sliver of a win.
Watched a few of your streams before.
Yeah, that's
So
fine. That's fine. Let me see if I can just, you know what? I'll just lower the, just go lower.
what you are. I mean, there is a certain level of narrative control going on that I'm seeing. Do you think there's any merit
Question
to
for
that?
Vincent Martin. Do you believe in the
so
roast
the
game?
question would be, so my issue with that is, what do you mean by narrative control? Because when we're talking about narrative control, you're acting as if what the narrative other people are speaking about, so Beckett specifically or anyone else who has covered Jar in the past, that is a loaded term that interestingly is supposed to cast dispersions against their narrative. So my question to you is, do you think that these people are lying about their experiences with Jar?
I think they're framing it in such a way that they're just collecting a file full of things they can use at Jar at the right moment. That's
Okay, to be clear, let's be okay. First, Vincent, is this your first day in this community? I know Vincent is like an old head, like on God, a certified fucking AARP collecting old head. Okay. People have always A-logged in this community. People like keep tabs, right? What makes it weird is if, so like, here's why Just a Robot's weird. His Tower of Babel, as Chris puts it, right, is basically files on top of files of not just his enemies, but also his friends. That would be like if I kept a folder on my Google Drive with every bad or problematic thing Falgi has told me, right? And everything I could use against Falgi in the future, right? What makes Jar weird is, imagine if you went into every social situation, not only assuming the worst, but actively looking out for things in the conversation that you could use to eke out a win in an internet argument later down the line, right? Normal people don't go through every social interaction they have thinking, oh, this guy is going to fuck me in the future. I better prepare for whatever could possibly come by recording all of his hopes and dreams and wishes and whims, right? That's what makes it weird.
needs to be in line with the ACC. Wait for
And also,
the way that
this guy, so Falgi frames the question in a way where it's like, do you think that people are wording this weird, right?
they're just collecting a file full of
So let's talk about Kat. I'm sorry, Kat. Kat's a little busy right now, so she's not gonna know. When that happened with Kat, the cute little pussy clip, right? We were like, that's fucking weird. And if you're a guy friend of a girl and she shares that with you, and your first answer isn't stop talking to that guy, he's creepy as fuck, you are enabling some rancid shit, okay? And you should get your fucking priorities straight. There is no world where that is appropriate in that kind of relationship that they have. Right? Like I've flirted with Kat before, right? It's like a playful, funny banter, right? We have that relationship where doing something like that's okay. Same way with like Beckett or somebody else. But there are other friends that I wouldn't do that with, right? I wouldn't send a cute little pussy to like someone who's an acquaintance, right? Read the room. Read the room. Charitable take on what Jar was doing is that he was a moron and sent it. uncharitable take, and this is the one I think is real. I think Jar was horny, was gooning, and was like, damn, Cat does art. I want to fuck her because she does art. Because let me tell you this. There's a lot of YouTubers that exist in this world that go, damn, you do art? I want to fuck you. I don't know why. That just is what it is. It is. I've been that guy. It just is what it is. That exists. But I was scrambling the day I leaked that to get it from Cat. Okay. I was scrambling. Yes, the Mally stuff is even worse. But it was not like Cat had this on hand. This guy didn't redact.dev those terrible things. They were there still, okay?
Things they can use that jar at the right moment.
I also don't need to collect information on Jar to rip Jar to pieces. It's very easy to rip him to pieces. Jar is a pathetic, sad sack of a man who I'm actually surprised hasn't passed on. Oh, you flirt with Cat? Damn. You won't flirt with a random internet stranger? Damn, Diesel. I see how it is. Sigh. Well, you know, I mean, for the right price, I'm anybody's whore, right?
That seems to be in line with the ACC. Wings. Okay, that's not something, one of my arguments. Okay, I think I think he has that same habit. I do. I really think that's the culture of the ACC in general. Try to wait until they can use something.
But is that not the culture of multiple drama?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like Vincent is talking from fucking, like the call's coming from inside the house, dude. All right. There are people in commentary who just exist as collectors. They just exist as collectors of information. Some of them run archive channels. Some of them are participants in other things, right? Those people just exist.
Channels. Specifically, you can look for instance, do you know much about the Brad Taste drama a little bit?
No, I do not know anything about
you know
that.
who Rose
I don't know why
Millay is?
that's relevant. How's the narrative?
Because you're
sort of
saying that this
similar?
is exclusively to the ACC, and I'm providing you an example of someone who would be
Yes,
considered in commentary who does something similar. And Rose is crazy. Do not make like don't get it twisted. But I am providing you an example of someone who does it in a different space. I'm not disagreeing with you that this is something that was pervasive in the ACC. I'm not an ACC creator. I would like to consider myself a tourist. I have spoken with different creators who have looked into the ACC. But one of the things
here,
is that
I've looked into the ACC myself a while back ago. So
yeah, and that's fine. But this is not something that necessarily exclusive to the ACC. To your credit, you made a Twitch poll video. We could say, for instance, that is commonplace in the Twitch poll community as well. Because you can look at Demon Mama and specifically with Xanderhall. When all the Xanderhall stuff came out, Demon Mama was ready to burn him. Are they ACC?
no. And exactly the old commentary with Zaptai seems to have done the same thing. I'm Alex. I covered that myself.
Oh my God. Okay, listen, I'm Alex who's keeping tabs on people, yes, for his own Tower of Babel. But would the alternative... Thank you. Somebody left my keys on my bed just now. But the alternative isn't, oh, that completely ruined my train of thought, Jesus. The alternative isn't that, you know, the other people weren't keeping tabs either. I was there. Everybody was and always has been. It's just that now we have terms that we can openly and freely use without fear of being mislabeled as something else. Like saying A-log or gay-op a long time ago wasn't acceptable. It was considered outside the culture norms of the community, and now it is.
So when you say something, but you were saying that this is something the ACC does, that's an incorrect statement, right?
No, it's not incorrect. It's just not exclusive to the ACC.
Okay, but
but like it's not the people who are keeping tabs on everybody for Vincent, right? The people who are keeping tabs on everybody are not just the bad people you don't like. It's everybody, right? But what makes it weird is if it's on like I don't keep tabs on like my friends. In fact, I barely pay attention to what the fuck happens on the internet. I'm kind of not as plugged in as you would think. And I would imagine or hope, I would hope, I am not going to presume because I assume a lot of these guys don't go outside, but I would assume that many people don't keep tabs on literally everything. You have things you cover and things you don't.
Your argument is that this is the ACC when this is multiple parts of commentary. So, because when you create a narrative that says that there's narrative control regarding JAR, the question.
I want to point out this guy is heavily involved in gaming commentary where there's a lot of tribal culture war shit. Someone needs to be in a group and labeled in a way for it to make sense. Yeah, I know. It's like what he said he was like a centrist or whatever, and I like dogged on him for that. I'm sorry if I insane hypotheticals. If I had a nuclear bomb strapped to my chest and I said pick a side, you would pick a side. You wouldn't go I'm a centrist because then I'd blow us up.
It's okay.
But it's
I'm
not
just labeling what it is.
But it's not exclusive to this space.
I'm not saying it's exclusive to this space.
You are making the illusion that it is when you're not including other spaces.
No, I'm not. You're making that leap in logic.
It's not a leap in logic.
It's not a leap in logic when you make it. A lot.
Okay, so then why don't you say that? Why don't you say that though in your video just now?
Why do I have to include other spaces?
Because because when you are doing this in your response video, you're saying that Beckett is becoming more like the ACC every day, and if something like this is pervasive in multiple spaces of commentary, then Beckett is just becoming more commentary every day. Again,
his standard. I'm sorry, Vincent's standards were crazy, and now he's just trying to walk it back.
A certain segment of commentary is pulling away from it, and some are pulling with this.
Sure. I would agree.
Narrative focus.
I sure would agree. I'm not particularly. I don't like. Listen, I've engaged in a gay op. I could fully agree to that.
I've been engaged in a gay op. I've engaged in a gay op. Is a really funny sentence.
It's on my channel. But again, to say that it is exclusively of the ACC or Beckett specifically is of the ACC variety. Listen, I have my own problems with Beckett. Being friends with him, I still have my problems with him. But
dude, I haven't talked to Beckett in like weeks because I've been so busy with work and shit. I need to catch up.
I would say that you are painting a brush that is of a different color, if that makes any sense to you.
It's still not. I'm saying it's not exclusive just to the ACC.
But your allusion to the fact is that it's a specific.
To it. Okay. In this particular one, I narrowed down the focus. It happens within sort of the Queeman sort of sector of the group also, and I think
oh my god,
it's more pervasive on that side.
But it's not. It's not also just there.
What's going on with Beckett? I don't know what the fuck is going on with Beckett. I haven't talked to him.
I mean,
I've been busy. I haven't been able to talk to my e-boyfriend.
I mean, it's not just there. Would you say Diorio is Queeman?
Nope.
So when Diorio has the Pixie leaks and he knows of the erudite stuff, would you then say that that's not just Queeman? Listen, I don't have a lot of love for Queeman personally. I'm not a fan of Queeman. I don't particularly know the guy that well. But again, it's very interesting that you're.
That's where the point of my criticism is coming from. In fact, it started from the Himpleton server. I have a playlist of.
Oh my god. Conversations that only make sense with like fucking a Herculean amount of knowledge, dude.
Of all these videos,
Pimple who?
They have common themes to it.
Is that
starting with the sort of issues with Himpleton?
Who cares? That's what I say.
And you were a former moderator of Himpleton's, if I remember correctly, or I heard through the grapevine.
Oh my god, dude! They got inmates running an asylum, and the asylum is owned by an inmate.
Yeah, someone talked me into joining the mod staff. I didn't.
Someone talked you into joining the mod staff? What did they put a fucking internet gun to your head?
Much mod stuff.
Stop or we'll delete your Discord Nitro.
Stuff though. I'm like, okay, I'll take the status, but I'm probably not going to do much. I was sort of out. I got somewhat into the Plague Mall stuff after the Mama Max stuff, but that's what I was mostly there for. Mama Max sort of coverage. How I met a lot of those people that I know in commentary.
They bribed him with clout. What did Himpleton have to give? A little hay penny?
Through the Himpleton Discord.
Okay, so where I guess the question is, because not a lot of people maybe know who you are. I only knew that tangentially.
Yes, I tried to say in the shadows.
You and I have a common friend.
I do believe Vincent was a former caller to Tommy C at one point. I do believe that to be the case.
Runner. So, who I actually, just to make you aware, haven't even talked to him about this. You made that assertion in like your little read through of the comment that I made, which you don't really address correctly, but we'll get there.
That's fair enough.
Love phones, dude. He was a love phone. I don't know if he was.
I haven't even had to talk to him. I didn't even know that you guys were friends. So what then contributed to your falling out
British
with Himpleton? Was it the jar stuff?
No, the Himpleton stuff is just because of the X-Mod situation that I looked into. There was
Which-
a lot of issues, and most of it is in the small commentary playlist, the start of it.
I understand that.
video
But could
to
you
the
explain
last.
that to a wider audience, because you are getting a lot more coverage now? Just listen. I'm just trying to give you the fairest shake humanly possible.
Sorry, it's a little hard on the spot to recap those things. I would have to go back over those old videos in detail to give a comprehensive sort of coverage of this. But I'm saying this has not started from just Beckett to Jar. Okay. This is not about Jar. This started off a while ago and looking at different communities that are sort of interconnected.
Yes. So then so one of the questions would be, why would you pick Jar specifically? What do you think makes Jar unique in this instance?
The Kumo thing. I admit Beckett will admit that Kumo was doing a whole bunch of gay ops.
Yeah.
I don't see why it's so unrealistic to feel like Jar, the perfect guy to gay opt, was gay opt into all this shit.
I'm sorry. What? What? Jar was gay. Okay. Jar was one of the. Okay. I don't know why the buck stops with commentary here when it was Jar who made the video, wrote the video, edited the video, did sleepy time calls with the pedophile, okay? And then it was Jar who shopped the video around looking for kudos and backpats from people with the intent that they cover it and absolve a pedophile of things. Okay, that's what Jar did. Jar made a bunch of active decisions, right? So like if you're gay opt, you're just kind of like, I'm sitting here, and then somebody comes in and then starts like going, beep, 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 I'm gonna fucking explode you, right? That's I don't know, that's like a, I don't know, fucking space aliens coming down and gay opting. It's when like an alien lies and it's like, I'm not going to explode. I'm not going to explode.
So, but then again, I'm going to ask you this. Do you think the women, because I'm going to focus on this. Do you think the women who had experiences with Jar as well as had DMs are lying?
I'm thinking they're framing their sort of experience through a certain filter that I do not agree with.
What kind of filter would you put it through? What kind of filter would you put it through, Vincent? Vincent, if I DM you and go, what a cute little cock you have, are you not gonna be a little weirded out? Huh? What if I start talking about dick and how much dick makes me hard? Huh? How would you respond?
They re-examine it through the past.
So again,
they re-examine it through the past. Oh, okay. No. I see what you're thinking this is now. You're thinking that this is somebody who willfully flirted with Jar and then post hoc decides that he's creepy, right? You're picturing one of those events. I know what kind of event you're picturing, but this is not those events because we have the context for these things that you deliberately left out. Of course, I already know how this goes. Fauci brings up the Mally stuff and he instantly runs away and hides, right? But guys, if you're embedded in a culture war and every single time a fucking sex crime or rape comes up and your immediate first thought was the woman asking for it or was she sending mixed signals? Brother, you need to get your fucking brain checked.
Right,
I am
get the
going to ask,
discussion there.
so I'm going to ask the question, and I would like you to give me a better answer. Yes or no, do you think the women who had instances with Jar are lying? Yes or no?
I don't think it's a clear-cut answer.
Fuck you with your gay cop-out answer. I know exactly where your opinion lies on this.
Yes or no? I'm asking you a yes or no.
I'm sorry. I know this guy said he was a centrist. Sorry, guys. Sorry to be a little political as a drama streamer. Right? But this guy, if I press this guy, he's conservative, 100%.
Question at this point.
I can't answer that.
So,
Fauci, would
so
you
you
please
think they're
censor
lying.
the
So you do think they're
monstrosity?
lying. So let's be frank. You think they're lying. You were
yes.
Yes. Thank God he finally weaseled it out of him.
I would lean more towards the line side
Oh, fuck off.
of things.
So you
okay?
believe all of the evidence regarding.
Like
So you believe
Sprocket
him.
is a proven liar.
I'm not.
okay?
It's
Right? So what a guy like him will do is be like, that woman lied in their rape-related sex pest thing, right? So sex pest. We'll settle on sex pest, right? That's a really vague one, right? But these motherfuckers will always be like, that sex pest situation, the girl was lying. And then it'll be a new sex pest situation, and they'll be like, well, that girl lied in that one, so she must be lying in this one, even though they're two separate events, right? Part of the rape review is that you look at each rape and you review it specifically. So sometimes they're on the money. Other times they're not.
so
That was one of the people he brought on at the very
Okay,
end of
okay.
his video. Freak.
okay.
There's a lot of
But there are
suspicious-
multiple other people. There's Thuman,
There-
there's Mally, there are other people that have
Yes.
instances of DMs where Jar's asking to go to their room. So you think all of those people are lying, correct? And you think all of these people magically outside of each other are lying together to
They've
gay off
done
Jar?
it before in the ACC. I think there's separate.
They're different people. I understand some communities do a specific thing, right? I get that. But we can't sit around and paint such a wide brush with every experience, right? Like, not everybody in commentary, for example, right? If commentary is a community, I don't know, community's dead, right? Not everybody in commentary is like a fucking closet crypto fascist giga cringe incel, okay? Not everybody is like that. You can't paint broad brushes like that, right? We got to look at the people specifically and who they are.
People with hidden motives coming together. Yeah, I think it's mainly Kumo in this particular case here, and I think the
Do you think Kumo is
reliability-
running this behind the scenes? I'm sorry. Do you actually think
I have
do you-
no clue. My claim is just Kumo gay opt Jar. Do you
Yeah,
accept that?
yeah, it's so
Okay.
Yes, but that's not the question I'm asking. Please come back to the point. That's not what I'm asking. Because that's also not technically what your video is about. Because here's the problem, right? Your video is not only incomplete, it's erroneous because you let him talk the way he talks, right?
How's that erroneous?
You
Am I
it's-
supposed to
so
police his
here's why
language?
it's no. Here's why
I'm-
it's
Brother's doing one of two things. He's in a fat rape. Sorry, guys. He's in a fat vape, or he's eating some food.
erroneous.
Police his language.
No, I'm not talking about policing his language. It's talking about challenging certain assertions that he made, right? And I'm not talking about the Coyote Lovely stuff. I'm not talking about other things like that.
Yeah,
But-
and that's mainly what I'm talking about in my video.
Is that the only
What-
conversation that you
what-
guys had? Then why don't
That's
you bring up
recorded.
I'm sorry, why don't you bring up the fact that he made two versions of the video? Because that actually matters for the Kumo stuff. Did you know that he
How
made two
does it
versions
matter
of the video?
for the Kumo stuff?
Do you know that he
Yes,
made
I'm
two
aware.
versions of the video? Then why didn't you include
Yes.
it?
I don't have to include it in my video.
Then your video
You
by
can't
nature
tell
is
me-
incomplete. Because the
Okay.
reason he stopped making the video is because he heard the Kumo debates, which were asked, by the way. Jar is a fucking moron for ever thinking that. Because Kumo's
I
on
will
rec-
agree. I
Yes,
will agree
but
with
the problem
that.
is that you
Okay,
are leaving out an important part of the timeline, right? You are leaving an important part of the timeline. That is that Jar made a
No,
Dude, this chatter is not erroneous. It's erogenous. That's a plus. That's got a +2 from me for sure.
I'm focusing on certain elements, and that is all. In my
But
critique of the
him
freak
making that
thing.
video actually fits into the narrative of Beckett's complaints. Because what if Beckett's complaints in the video is that Jar always shows up at the end of dramas to think that he is the king of the castle, when that's not actually what happened in this scenario.
That's a reading. That's
It's
his
not a
of that.
reading if that's what
Yes,
he did.
it is.
It's not a reading if he actually made a video that includes reading.
This guy. I'm sorry. Listen, I think it's really reductive to do the whole, like, English teacher tells me that the drapes on the building represent sadness. I just say the drapes are blue, right? But this motherfucker really needs to just, like, sometimes it is what it is.
The document itself, then gets cold feet when someone he doesn't like is pushing back on it because not a lot of people were covering Cinebear at the time.
Oh my god. You saying that's Malcolm is really funny. No, that's Falgy.
Open and shut because she made a response.
And
Your
her
video
response
is-
couldn't have been
His
coerced
whole
at
video
all.
is leaving out damning
I
information.
definitely agree that it probably was not coerced to the degree that
Why is everybody like, someone go get Diesel? Why?
freaking Jar asserts it to be, and that she's
But
definitely
then why is none of that
guilty of
included in
red
your video
flags.
then? Because if
I
you
don't have to cover everything in my video. Why can't you get that? I am focused on a certain segment.
No, you're ignoring important context, right? It's one thing to focus on a specific aspect to cover in your video, but you're ignoring context that's related directly to your points. Those are related directly to the points that you make.
because your video is incomplete.
So when he says your video is incomplete, yeah, it's incomplete because it's missing information that is directly tied to the exact thesis statement you are making.
Because there's easy ways to refute your statements, but you don't like that though. You actually don't
The
enjoy
easy
that.
refutes.
Do you not
you
like that?
don't
Do you
know
not like
me.
that? Do you not like
No, I am focused.
You don't know any. Me when I don't have an argument and just hope he's really bad at it.
Focusing on one particular, well, a couple of different.
You focus
elements
on a
in my
couple different
video.
elements, right? You focus
Yes.
on you kind of a little bit conceded on the Chud logic part. Again, I
Yes,
don't think
that's my reading.
Yeah.
That's my personal reading. I will re-clarify.
No, this guy's hitting some fat vapes, dude.
that. It's my personal reading of it, and you can say I have a negative bias towards Chud. I used to be a fan of him, and I just sort of drifted away from his fan base because I noticed something changing with his content, and I didn't realize what it was until Tommy C did his little thing, and I saw Was-
Oh my god.
wasn't even Tommy C's coverage of Chud what he pointed out. I'm like, Tommy C could have a point. Wasn't until Chud Logic responded. So
I don't remember. Maybe it's just a streamer culture thing. I just don't ever remember ever having such a ridiculous fan base, dude. Like, does this just happen in the streaming culture? Does everybody just get really parasocial and insane about every little thing? I just do whatever the fuck I feel like, and I think will make me money. Those two things.
over the top, even more erroneous. Go in with talking points that seem to have come from Queenman, but I can't guarantee that.
so. You,
Dude, there's a new cabal in town.
think that his reaction, reviewing the fact that Jar wanted to shop the video specifically to Chud, and that was his intention, where it was a pedophile defense video, is a read-in from Queeman?
Did Jar think she was a pedophile at the time?
He did actually. That's what's in the first video. He did actually. That's
And
the,
he- and
that's
he
the
can't
problem.
change his
See,
mind
that's
later
the
on?
that's the
He
problem with your
can't change
coverage,
his
though.
mind?
That's the
Okay, Vincent, the problem is that fucking Jar changes his mind like the wind changes direction. We all want in your pants, Diesel. I'm not sure we're normal. Well, you know, maybe some of you are welcome in my pants. My barometer for normal is just really bad, I guess.
problem with your coverage. He believed that she
That
was
he
a
changed
pedophile,
his mind.
but he had
That
no
she
evidence.
changed his
He was
mind.
not. He was not presented with new evidence. The only evidence that was there was her testimony.
Yes.
Her testimony, and it doesn't
And
change
on
anything.
duty ethics, you can get Jar. Okay, you can definitely say he didn't do his due diligence. From
But that's not presented in your
duty
video because
ethics.
that is part of the critique. That is part of the critique in Beckett's video. And
okay.
that's what you're not
the duty
understanding.
ethics. but
Vincent sounds like he
Beckett
licks
does not
toes with
accept
mud on
ethics,
it.
Okay, he does not live by the ethics. Okay,
He cannot live by
does
his own
something
ethics.
very
That's fine.
similar.
I don't give a shit about his ethics. That's not what
Chat
I'm
I
talking
miss
about.
Rose.
The problem is that he actually.
Dude, Jar doesn't have ethics in art commentary, art ACC journalism.
knew, and this was after his video had been released, right? The discovery of that second video, that first draft, was after Beckett's video, and it was highlighting.
And did
his
Jar
past.
hide that? Did Jar try to hide that?
Yes, he
No.
Yes, that's all he does, dude.
absolutely.
He gave it to Leo.
He hid it from everybody else in all of his responses. You're absolutely incorrect, Vince.
No,
You're
he said it
absolutely-
in his response.
No.
He said he had a video much harder against Cinny Bear.
He hid it in previous
In his
responses.
response.
Here's my question to you: When do you?
He was like, let me see which video gets me less hate. Which one can I win with? That's crazy. Better to fall on your sword than to keep picking up different swords that you won't fall on, okay? Because then you'll just end up falling on one anyway.
The Lio video came out, and when did the Jar response video came out? Can you tell me when that was?
Can you tell me when Jar did his interview with Beckett?
Can you tell me?
No, not off the top of my head.
So if it's in Jar's response video that he discusses the first draft of the video, right? And if, let's say, Lio, because you keep calling him Lio, I don't give a shit.
Lio.
I personally don't give a shit either.
He's not a big part of it.
I don't give a shit either. I actually agree with your assertion that I do feel like this was, I think that he was a good source of information, but I do think that it was an attempt. Even if I'm, on speaking terms with Lio, I do think this was an attempt.
Temu Smaggle is cooking nothing. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji.
Coming out from the ACC.
Damn, this guy's making bread tonight.
Again, my question to you is that if you don't have that timeline, Jar's response regarding the fact that he made 2 videos, one of which was much harsher, because because if you know, one of the things that he peddled was, I'm dyslexic and I can't read this.
Yes.
And in the video, he actually reads from the documents.
Does he get to the particular part where it was human?
Yes. You didn't watch it.
Did he understand it correctly?
Yes. You didn't watch it. Just admit it. You didn't watch it.
I did watch it. I just must have missed that.
He he discusses the first grooming attempt with the rape comic. He then returns.
I remember him talking about that.
And then he returns to it again because it's a part of
the 15-year-old and 17-year-old. I definitely remember that part.
But then he goes back over it. He goes back over it because it's a returning feature. It's a returning feature in the conversation.
The 15 to 7.
I'm still confused as to how gargling Jar's balls benefits this guy. I think, okay, let me brain blast. Let me use my telepathic powers to intrude upon the visions of this entity. Okay, I'm thinking. I think that this guy sees this as a part of a larger war, perhaps. I think Vincent Angle's being a contrarian more than really caring or looking into the facts. I don't know, he's so stupid that I honestly, a culture war, if you will.
15-year-old
the rape comic.
Okay, the rape comic.
It's what I'm trying to explain to you is that...
So you're saying I needed to include that in my particular video when I was focused on the narrative about the Coyote Lovely instance, okay? I'm not presuming guilt or innocence on Jar.
No, you presumed that there was...
I'm sorry, you were just presuming that Jar was like a fucking Fall Guy patsy motherfucker, all right?
All of people that were looking to take down Jar.
Who the fuck gives it? I'm sorry, but Jar makes videos about cartoons that are made for like a new generation of tweens, but only can attract 30-year-old angry men.
There's definitely there was a certain amount of people.
Like who's like really gunning to take down Jar? I mean me, but like for different reasons, for completely like superficial and easily already addressed reasons. I literally remember the day that the fucking cute little pussy thing like happened. I was playing World of Warcraft, okay? That was when I was in my WoW phase.
There were people...
I've interacted with Vince a couple times. He's a chill dude, but definitely a major contrarian.
You even admit it. Kumo, set him up. And even Lio, probably. Okay,
so what I admitted to Kumo. So what I admit about Kumo is not necessarily just a setup. Kumo got the video from Romantic Goblin, from what I understand. Cine or Jar gave it to Goblin and then gave it to Kumo. Why Jar gave it to Goblin, God only knows, right?
Dude, this is such an insane conversation.
I think he actually gave it to Cine and Cine gave it to Goblin.
It's either one or the other. I thought he said that he gave it to Romantic Goblin, but it wasn't. It wasn't Cine.
This is actually how medieval peasants were trying to determine who gave who aids.
Me giving it to Goblin to give it to Kumo, right? Because even Kumo says, I didn't want you in contact with Jar.
Yeah.
She contacts Jar outside of everything. Jar doesn't know about the Cine defense group. So it's not a gay op in that sense. It's in the sense of, well, of course, if Cine gives it the Romantic Goblin and nobody likes Jar from over there, yeah, they're going to publish it. but claiming that it's a cabal that is trying
I'm
to
not.
get Jar.
Dude, I'm sorry. We need to throw the term cabal out the window. There's no more cabal. Okay? The allegations of a cabal of elite commentary channels have been grossly overstated. I have never been in a server with Xylee Gets Real. I have never spoken to Xylee Gets Real. We spoke a few times. No, but seriously, they're very overblown. You know what the cabal was? There was a time period when a few of us would hang out in a server made by Core, formerly of Now Recording, right? And then Core had a gamer moment and got rid of the server. And then Xylee made a new server, and we hung out there for a little bit. And then some people just moved on, and Bo Black showed his penis. And, you know, Bob's your uncle, no more cabal. It wasn't like people sat around trying to fucking, like, game the system. Anything that existed with Keemstar, like the Tea Party group chat, was, I mean, these days is just Keemstar yapping to himself, okay?
I take each person in general with it. And the particular thing with that, the ACC more aligned people, like Cheery, however you say her name, the woke ass bitch. She calls herself that in the section of the video.
Okay.
The woke ass bitch. Notice how he zeroes in on that. Notice how his mind is filled with RFK brainworms.
Okay.
The red 40 from his high C is affecting his mental cognition. Bo Black's penis destroyed the cabal. No, what really destroyed the cabal is that people just drifted apart. You know, like normal fucking people.
That's a separate sort of group. And that's more aligned with Harley TBS, something I didn't even attempt to address.
Okay, so you're talking.
But yeah, it was just people like distant, like just moving on and doing other things, right? It is what it is. I don't know. I feel like I fit in with the op block and those associated characters a lot more. I mean, many of them happen to have originally been my mods, but they just fit my vibe a lot more. I feel less like I need to pander to like a certain audience, right? Not that I dislike any of those audiences, right? Soy liberals. I like to say that I'm dark woke. I say retarded and kill yourself and yada yada. But also, I think that we have quite the problem with the 1% here. Excuse me, liberal.
Out Chuli.
Truly, okay.
Sherry is a different person, right?
A lot more of the cabal is liberal than you think, by the way.
Again.
Yeah, truly sounds about right.
So here's the other thing. I believe you included Thuman in the video and other individuals, right?
I hinted at that. Yes.
Yes. So again, you don't believe any of these women. You've stated that you don't believe any of them because you haven't.
You created your own cabal. Yeah. I mean, I guess so. The cabal is really just, I mean, it's just, you know, the op block.
They're filtering it through.
I'm not really like, I don't know. I'm just not interested in like meeting other creators right now, I think.
Woke ass lens.
Why are you focused on the woke ass thing? I'm curious.
Because it's interesting. They say it themselves. True.
This guy is so fucking, I'm sorry. All these people, this guy is so fucking brain rotted, dude. Holy shit.
Truly.
So let me ask you a question. Can anti-woke...
Okay. Augie's definitely right leaning. Darth pronouns, dude. Darth pronouns is crazy. Chris is more liberal than he lets on, but I think a New York liberal is different than like a New York liberal is different from a California liberal, if you know what I mean, right? We're talking in we're using binary words, okay? We're using binary things right now to describe a spectrum, okay? So I think we really need to check how we're talking about this and understand our privilege in this situation. Anyway, we're going to do a land acknowledgement now for the Muncie Lenape people who used to stream on this channel. Nobody chat. This is a land acknowledgement. Okay, real experience I had, by the way. That actually happened in real life once.
People not be sexually harassed?
Yeah. Anyone can be sexually harassed.
So why does it matter if it's woke?
I'm gonna sexually harass you, Vincent.
It doesn't, but it's definitely gonna.
So you're lying.
Unalign.
So you're lying.
against-
So
no, it's
so
gonna.
you're lying.
Woke people are going to
So
be against woke, anti-woke people.
But it's not
okay?
about a woke
Oh my god, dude, this guy has brain worms.
versus anti-woke thing, because then why
Yeah,
would
it's a difference in
Who
value.
cares? Woke means nothing. Anti-woke means nothing. Nobody can define any of these terms, and if they do, I could easily find a billion different examples that refute the existence of the term that they just explained.
calling Beckett
There is
woke?
a difference in values.
Are you calling Beckett woke?
I don't know what Beckett is.
He's
okay?
not.
Don't
Neither am
attempt to
I.
ask.
You also said that
Okay.
I'm not woke.
I don't know about that, Falji.
I'm soy,
no
but not
clue.
necessarily not.
Yeah. See. We're using binary language right now to describe a spectrum.
But
You're
again,
definitely soy. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Willie is the woke ass bitch by self-admission.
okay, but then
This guy's so gay. He's such a fucking loser. Oh my god. Dude, he's so hung up on woke, not woke. God.
my question to you then is that why does that matter?
Would you consider yourself
Him just trying to go into
non-binary?
fam. Diesel.
I think I don't even with that chat.
Because you by your own words said
Yes,
that an
it's
anti-woke
going
person.
to-
You just said an anti-woke person.
In a
can
certain
also be
video,
sexually
Beckett
harassed.
says Jar was the token right wing member of the ACC.
Dude, yes. Dude, I'm sorry. Jar is so courting those people. I don't even think he believes any of it. But you're telling me a guy making a 10-minute video that says nothing about She-Ra other than that it was supposed to be a He-Man show? Like, I'm sorry. Like, come on. It's like the most fucking bottom of the barrel, critical drinker ass criticisms of fucking children's media. Okay? The same shit that Quartering waxes philosophic about in his fucking basement 5 times a day. Okay? It is the most boring, bottom of the barrel, fucking grifter bullshit. He doesn't even have the tenacity to say slurs. Okay? At least Andy Pants Gaming knuckles down and calls people the F slur. Okay, important question. If you had to have one person as president, who would you pick between Hassan, Trump, or Augie? Why are you giving me such an insane list of characters?
Okay.
Which he
There was a
was.
stream where he said that.
Which
yes,
he was.
He was. It's going to make it.
Hey, new fuck, marry, kill just dropped. Who do you want as president? Hassan, Trump a third time, or Augie? I don't.
Definitely a target for most of the people at the ACC. I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did without getting major pushback. He's very
Dude, nobody gives a fuck that Jar is anti-woke in the ACC. Nobody gives a fuck about that. You know what people didn't like about Jar is that he was a two-timing snake of a fucking asshole who constantly tried to weasel his way out of everything. Okay? People hated Jar irrespective of his politics that I don't even think he has. Damn, if Jar got some non-binary pussy, that guy would be at the LGBTQ parade in no time. Okay? That guy would have had a rainbow flag streaming out his fucking eyes if he got some action.
careful, very paranoid.
Yes.
We both can probably agree on that, right?
Yeah, we could agree
Because
that
of
Jar is
his
incredibly paranoid.
particular-
He abuses
Jar
some-
hate, sign me up. What up, dude?
instances that probably makes him more paranoid.
Yeah, probably. At least marijuana is known.
Adderall,
Definitely
cocaine.
Adderall.
Adderall. Well,
cocaine.
He admitted
I'm
to
sure he did.
admitted to using cocaine earlier. I have already tracked most likely where he got it
Yeah,
from.
I think he mentioned that to me also.
Yeah,
but
he abuses his Adderall. That's why he requires the sleepy time calls, because he will use it in an opportune.
Could bottoming save Jar? Dude, I think this guy might actually have a transcendental experience if he bottoms. I think it's best. I think his bottom's best left unscathed.
Unrecommended times. I know how the medication works.
Yeah, so do I.
But again, why does the woke matter if that is not the context of the conversation? Because it sounds like you're grasping for a narrative that's not there. It sounds like you want narrative control.
No, I'm deconstructing a false narrative. Okay.
You're deconstructing what false narrative? That Jar doesn't have this history?
No, that Jar is not like Coyote Ugly in my particular video. I thought I made that clear. My critique of...
Dude, Chatter says, ask him what he thinks about ethics in games journalism and square jaws on women. Okay, I started playing Doom to Dark Ages, by the way, and there is that lady. If you've played Doom, you know, because she's like the only lady in like the whole universe or whatever. Her jar is Omega Square, but she is so hot. Okay, I'm pretty sure if she rode my face, she'd kill me. But like they were kind of cooking.
That sort of video can be found on my channel in a stream. I did a whole video critiquing just that video on its own before I made this.
I thought your video was in.
I need to review Vincent's content. Oh my god.
Critique of Coyote Lovely, calling him Coyote Lovely in one offhanded stream.
That was the first narrative that I thought
your video
totally
was based on just that video. I'm sorry. Are you changing the story now?
No, I said 3 things in my comments.
But you just said that your video is specifically fighting against the Coyote Lovely narrative. But I thought you just said what you were trying to critique.
What did I say in my comment?
Video.
Can you go back and read my comment?
No.
Flesh it out. No.
But
I don't remember what I said. Could you pull it up and read it for me? Because I don't remember.
You read out your
don't
comment.
get me in the worst. Do not try to use.
Are you struggling?
What I say in this.
Are you struggling?
No.
Why are you struggling?
I'm not struggling. You're trying to reframe it.
I'm not reframing it. I'm using your words.
Yes.
I'm using your
words. Okay.
Come on, continue. So is this video about Beckett's video, or is it about the Coyote Lovely narrative? Yes or no? Or not even yes or no. Can you just clarify that?
I have a statement.
So
comment you didn't respond.
You just said, yeah,
There's
because I have a life. I'm not going to respond to every comment.
Okay.
It was just funnier that you actually commented and you skipped absolutely everything I said, but it's okay. Again, so is this...
Because we have different values, we focus on different things.
What values do you think I have?
Oh my god, dude. This guy, have you guys ever seen those 1 versus 20 debates by like Jubilee, right? Where I saw one where it was like a democratic socialist journalist, right? And it was like 20 far right people, right? And he would sit down with them and they'd be like, "You believe in blank." And he's like, "No, actually, I agree with you on that." And they'd be like, "So anyway," and they just like they couldn't. Like the inability to not like you can't understand, like there are these people that just can't understand that politics isn't such a binary thing. Like you're allowed to have nuance and complicated views on a situation that don't perfectly align with the party that you identify as, right? That's okay. Unfortunately, in America, we're stuck with just 2. Okay, but like. It doesn't mean that you only agree with like I don't agree with everything that liberals put out into the world. In fact, I think the Democratic Party is doing pretty fucking bad right now, right? And I think they're kind of out of touch, okay? And they're not handling situations well. But like that is the inability to understand that these things that people hold can be nuanced and multifaceted and be experienced through different lenses that have a myriad of different things that just gauge them differently, okay? Like that's a normal thing, okay? People who are able to empathize with others know that that is the case, right? It's hard, I know, because politics is a very divisive thing. But that is actually how people come to understand each other, is that they find the middle ground. And that's how things get done in Congress and the Senate, actually, is that usually they find a middle ground. Assumedly that things are working of optimal standard, which apparently they are not, but yada, yada.
I have no clue, but
so why do we have different, how do you know we have different values?
because we fundamentally do, obviously.
What values do you think I have?
What do you think? What do you see? You're just assuming his values. You're literally doing the thing from the Jubilee video.
I don't know what values you have, but they're clearly not
Oh my God, brother.
in line with my values.
What are your
which
values?
Does not rely on
What are your
these
values?
insane mind reading things by going over this.
What values do you think I have? Let's start there.
No, I am not going to.
What values do you have?
You assume that you two you have different values, and he's questioning whether or not you're on the money about that. And then when pressed about that, you just choose not to answer. You invoked it, dude.
They're aligned. Let's see if they're aligned.
It is the social contract. You agree, you make a social contract with particular people, and you fall into agreement with them on a shared level. When someone breaks that agreement, you break the social contract.
Oh my God, what the fuck are you saying? The fundamental social contract of liberals agreeing with each other.
Interesting. I don't agree to that. I mean, I actually.
Yeah. See.
No.
I figured as much.
No. Let me.
This is like a fucking people fall into lemmings categories within a big enough group. I'm sorry, but doesn't that social dynamic only work when something passes a certain threshold? I don't. This motherfucker watched one season of Nathan Fielder and is like, I figured it out. I figured out group social dynamics.
I actually.
Yeah. See.
No.
He's like trying to issue out a PhD level discussion. Okay.
Figured as much.
No. Let me explain to you what my values are, because
That's fine.
because if you have followed me a little bit long enough, you would see that I always try to keep the peace, because the way that I try to do it is I try to befriend people of different backgrounds and of different contents, and even people that don't like each other. And unfortunately, that has burned me way too many times in the year that I've been streaming.
It typically does.
Yeah, but I still try to do it because I still see the good in.
Vincent is a good candidate for Scientology. This I was listening. All right. Speaking of, I was listening to the Ezra Klein show on my way back from work one day, and he had this guy on who wrote a book that became like political theory, and God, this is like way above my educational level to be discussing this on stream, but it was a recent episode. And I hate that one of the only remaining factors that I remember right now is that he was Jewish and also kind of sounded like he was like a Nazi at the same time, but it kind of did sound like that, and they were talking about that. If you've listened to the episode, you know what I'm talking about, but I'm doing the like lefty equivalent of like, did you see that episode of Joe Rogan? So I'll just leave it at that.
People, right? I still think that that's important. It's not a.
Yeah,
it's not
you're
a
more of an
quote-unquote woke.
optimist than me then.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But again, why does the value of that or any value matter regarding Jar? Because by that transitive property, I should be more fair to Jar.
Then why aren't you?
Because there's evidence that proves otherwise. And
That he's a liar. You have evidence that he's a liar.
Yes.
Yes, it's so obvious.
Your evidence is the fact in that call you think that claims makes him a liar.
No, it's the totality of his interactions on the internet regarding the Cinebear drama.
Okay. So it's death by a million paper cuts. Is
It's
what you're saying.
no, it's his.
Oh my God, dude. Balji, you got to understand. He only understands reality through easy to understand narratives and idioms. Okay. Can you break down the Jar drama into an idiom that is easy to understand for this idiot?
Contradictions and continued statements on it, right? As well as the fact that, yes, he has sexually harassed women. It's just a fact, which is, it is what it is. But if you're saying that they're all lying, people who are not connected to one another, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, dude. Westside Tyler being in this.
There are people that
was it clear to Jar that he was sexually harassing that woman at the time?
Why
do
would
you
that
think
matter?
Jar,
Why
do
would
you
that
think
matter?
Jar thought he was sexually harassing?
I'm sorry. What? Listen, if a guy commits sexual harassment and then I post hoc go to him and ask, were you sexually harassing that woman? What do you think he's gonna say?
That woman at the
Who
time.
cares? I'm sorry.
I care.
Why does
okay?
that matter?
Why does it matter how he feels about his interaction? Okay, it's the actions he did. If I can read the action and it's like literally the issues that we're talking about are easily readable in text format. Okay, so like. We don't even need to fucking like rely on Jar's testimony about how he feels. We don't need to even worry about feelings. We can look at the facts because facts don't care about your feelings and we can read it.
Why does that actually matter?
Was it premeditated or harassment of passion?
Because why does it matter if Jar knew what he would be considered sexual harassment to the person?
If your social skills are so bad you can't tell when you're sexually harassing someone, you're not well enough to be in normal society, let alone on the internet. Yes.
Was talking about this seems a little bit crazy.
So what you're saying is that Jar is Jar under a conservatorship of some kind? I don't know. Like, are you saying that
Jar in a conservatorship of some kind is crazy?
he's too autistic to understand what boundaries are?
No, he has a different set of values at the end of the
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So Jar can sexually harass because his values are different. Are you mentally ill? So please tell me what set of values allow me to just sexually harass women. Okay, but please tell me which values exist in this world which allow me to get fucking tax-free checks and fucking free Pussy Fridays and Freaky Fridas, okay?
day of what would constitute as sexual harassment. What would,
what Vincent, please tell me. What do you think sexual harassment is? I want you to give us some examples of what sexual harassment is, actually. I want you to define that, and I want you to walk me through what passes the barrier, okay? So, Vincent, if I saw you from across the bar, I would butt boy you 7 ways a Sunday. All right? Is that sexual harassment?
Value
as racism.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. So there are values set to sexual harassment. Interesting.
There's a value set to sexual harassment, dude. Dude, what the fuck, dude?
What are the value sets that you have against sexual harassment? What do you consider sexual harassment?
this isn't about what I consider sexual.
No.
What? I want to know.
No, it is. What do you consider sexual harassment? You made the video. What do you consider sexual harassment?
Okay, if they would have said no.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, dude. I don't. Have you talked to women? Do you know, like, let me focus on the dynamic with Kat right now, right? Kat has a professional relationship with Jar. Kat relies on Jar's money in order to fund her life. Now, I know, sorry to bring up power dynamics, but Kat is broke and needs the money. So, other Kat, by the way, Chad. Right? So, Kat has a need to not tell him no, right? If she tries to tell him, Jar, stop fucking flirting with me, and tries to be heavy-handed and affirmative about it, which she should have been. I told her that, right? The other women, when they saw it, said, you should have told them to fuck off, right? But Kat's thinking in her head, if I say, Jar, fuck off, I'm never going to get money from him. Because Jar, and I know that this is how Jar was thinking, because I've met people like Jar, and I used to be cringe like that, right? That guy is like exchanging money with Kat with the intent to build a personal relationship with her. It's not just about the art. It's like getting something extra out of it.
Okay, and explicit, like, don't talk to me that way. That would have been a direct, like, dude, don't talk to me that way.
So I'm sorry. Ladies, if a guy who pays you money for work you do sexually harasses you, right, and you need his money, are you going to go, don't talk to me that way? Because by the way, if you take workforce job training, by the way, which you do have to in New York, right? You have to take the sexual harassment training, right? And we went over it recently at my job, right? So this is fresh in my mind. the equivalent of a down payment for a relationship, right? This is fresh in my mind. That still counts as sexual harassment, by the way. Okay. Literally, when you take the New York State sexual harassment training test that is required by New York State law, that is actually an example. The example he's giving, okay, that happened is an example that exists where the woman doesn't like, she like goes out, she sees how it is, and then she's like, nah, right? And then he's like, oh, well, I passed you up on the promotion.
Is how she could have shut that down.
So do you think so do you think the multiple times that no, we're not leaving this. Do you think the multiple times that when Mally says, "Hey, I don't want to hang out with you. Hey, I don't want to hang out with you. Why are you talking about me behind my back?" You think those aren't no's?
They aren't being direct enough for someone like Jar to pick up.
Oh, so
on
they
them.
have to be direct enough they have to be as direct as you to be sexually harassed, right?
Nope.
So when they say, "Hey, you're harassing me," continually and constantly, even when there's a separate, do you know about the Mally call?
Yes, I know about the Mally call.
Do you think that he's harassing her then? When he threatens to use his audience against her?
Why are we bringing up all these outside
Why are you so
things?
silent?
Oh my God, dude.
Come on. Put it together. It's a picture.
Am I on mute? No.
No. Put it.
I do not
put the picture
accept
together.
it. I do not accept your conditions, okay?
What? You don't accept
You
my
cannot
conditions?
force-
What do you mean?
Yes, your assertions. I'm not going to play this game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to keep going down this path, go ahead. You can make all the arguments of Jar.
This guy would be like, "Oh, Andrew Cuomo was just Italian, you know. The Italians are handsy, you know."
Told you my focus. This has been my focus this whole time.
So what you're saying is that you would purposely leave
you're
information
saying
out.
is I have
So
to
you don't value
within this case.
Okay, so what you
I'm
value.
focused on the very.
Hold on, I just got sent something. Hold on. Shout out Ash. What if I start talking about dick and how much dick makes me hard? Huh? How would you respond? Holy shit.
On the narrative of Beckett with the sort of critique of the actual video of Freak that Beckett
So
put
you don't.
together.
So what you don't value.
People like this guy and Jar are why we choose the bear. Dude, it is like so easy not to be like, I'm jerking off right now to somebody. And like I can't like guys who comment on porn videos, like, what's going through your head, bro? Like, what's going on in there? Like that. I feel like you're one like bad goon away from DMing your crush. I'm literally jerking off to you right now.
Is the truth. Because
that's not the truth. That's the
so you know you
truth
lied
of
in the
these
video,
people.
right? So you know he was lying in the video, and you know that you don't care that you lie, right? Right?
No, I don't know anyone's lying. As far as
I thought you said the women were lying. I
to
thought
me
you said
now.
that you thought the women were lying.
You were pressing me on that. I would sort of stray that way, but I did not say for sure. I
you
know that
you're
they're lying.
So you know that they're lying though, because you don't have proof of it that they're lying.
Yes, but that's a position you pushed on me. I said I didn't want to answer that because I could not judge.
Dude, the fucking vape clouds are clogging his brain.
No,
Yeah,
you
completely.
So you know you published false
guess on that
information
side.
in your video. Okay, that's fair.
No, what false
Why are you-
information
so
in my
here's my
video?
question.
What
Here's my
false
question.
information in my video? What is the false information in my
You are
video?
believing that there is a concerted effort to create Jar as a lolcow. He was content. Now again, I would agree with Impleton, but again, what you are asserting is that the women were lying and they're playing it up.
No,
Very
that's
interesting.
the direction
Do you
that
know?
you
Do you
pushed
know
on
that
me.
Jar was
You
part of the
keep
contributing
on going
factors of
along with
Jaden
that.
Animations for coming out as asexual?
How does that have to do with my video? Why are you adding all these?
Well,
other
there's
factors
a
in?
person who's saying no, I don't want to be sexualized. She said no. Should he have not stopped?
Did he?
I'm
Did
sorry.
he stop?
She came out publicly and
No.
said it. Are you aware of that?
No. What did she say?
She was coming out
Publicly
as
against
asexual
Jar.
because she didn't appreciate that people were making NSFW art of her character. She had asked about it. Right? So do you not think that he was not a part of a contributing factor for that because he's part of a community that would create that because he specifically commissioned somebody to make lewd art of her? And I'm not going to go with the pedophile argument because A, Jar is not a pedophile from any knowledge in the universe. We don't know that. And B, he did not know that artist was 17. That artist lied to him. So again, do you not think that a person who has asked people to not create NSFW art of them, and then Jar then commissions it after the fact, is not a contributing factor, and that is not her saying no?
I don't know. Okay.
So your
I don't know. I'm being destroyed right now. I guess I don't know.
research is incomplete. Okay, good to know. So what do you believe a retrospective is? What do you think retrospective is happening?
Retrospective.
Mhm.
Where are you going with this?
Because I'm asking you, do you know what a retrospective means? Do you understand the point of Beckett's video?
Well,
Why
I
is
guess
it
we're
taking
gonna
so long
sit
to
here
answer?
in silence.
Because
would you
I
like-
have
would you like me
something
to look up-
outside
would
this life.
Would you like me to look up the definition?
I
of
have
retrospective?
something outside this life. Hey, you might want to dedicate some more time to it. I think it's starting to falter in your current aspects.
Perspective for you. I have no problem doing that. Hold up. Let's do that. Where is? You don't understand. If you fundamentally don't understand a video, how can you critique it properly?
Oh, I see what you're going. You're using my own criticism against you, against me.
No, I'm not. I actually understood what your video was. You just didn't answer any of the criticisms. But again, I'm asking
The
you again.
criticism, you can't accept that I'm focused.
Yeah, I know somebody in the chat earlier was like he has the accent, but like, brother, he really does have the accent, and whew,
on
he is
certain
not. They are not sending their best.
aspects within that video, within this video,
Mhm.
and sort of explaining the context
Mhm.
around that, and not actually making any particular moral judgments about Jar in general, just that this was a gay op that he was set up with, which is something you agreed with. And
No,
you
I
don't,
specifically
you think
with-
I have to
specifically with
factor in
Himpleton.
all these other
No,
things.
no. Let it be clarified. With Kumo and Himpleton, yes. With Beckett and the women of the ACC who had instances with him, absolutely not. That's not how that works. Himpleton, of course, gay opt him. What the fuck are we all like? Are we stupid?
Okay.
Yes, but even Himpleton
Same
agreed
thing with
to it.
Kumo. Same thing
Kumo.
most likely with Kumo.
Kumo.
Something that freaking Beckett.
No, dude, you're just assuming that Beckett was in on a gay op with Kuma. Oh my god. Look, I know that my word is not meant for shit because I am Falji's friend and Beckett's friend, but I can tell you that that Beckett was not doing some behind the scenes gay op, at least with Kumo, to the best of my knowledge. Okay, did not happen, right? Beckett's video on Jar happened. Wait a second. Beckett's video on Jar literally features a section on Kumo. Never mind. Stupid. He didn't watch the video. Simple.
Went along with, helped along with.
He dropped Kumo the second Kumo fucking crashed out. He should have even brought Kumo in. Chris, like I said on last stream, Chris and I called it with Kumo. Okay. But Beckett took those licks.
Again,
that's the
in the
essential
beginning
point.
of that live stream, but time moves in a linear fashion. He didn't know about the
This guy doesn't understand that time moves forward in perpetuity, regardless of your decisions.
defense league until later.
But in that video,
Hey Diesel, been doing laundry all afternoon. Got no dryer, but there's a laundromat around the corner, and drying is much cheaper than washing. So I've been driving back and forth and stuff on my last load. That feels like a lot to do, though. You know, I guess it depends on how much gas is being used. You know,
he said,
No, in
Jar
the live
was trying to
stream.
gay op.
Live
I'm talking
stream.
about back to the video. The one that I said I was trying to critique. You can disagree with my critique of it. Okay.
But your
You
critique
might
is
think that my
fundamentally
fuck-
incorrect because you're not.
Fundamentally incorrect because it's a retrospective.
No,
Okay,
not
I
because it's a
understand your
retrospective.
argument.
You're just wrong. You're just wrong. Why don't you pull up the timestamp of what you're speaking about and we can discuss it?
Because I don't have to at the end
Okay,
of the
so
day.
you can't.
I
do
don't
it.
have to, dude. You're the one saying that Beckett did this, right? But if Beckett did something else in his video, that directly contradicts your point, right? You're saying it like Beckett was moving lock and step with Kumo, which wasn't the case. And there's a video that shows otherwise.
Interesting. So every time.
Yes, I'm not focused on that particular section.
Oh my God, this guy.
Know what Jar actually said to Mally at VidCon? She's
I feel like this guy is now going to be anti-sexual harassment and rape after this because Falji is pending him over the table.
actually in the chat because she is constantly saying, I said no multiple times. So she
In the
fits the
DM.
definition. Yes.
I saw those DMs. Okay.
Okay. So
I read them.
So you just said that they weren't saying no hard enough.
That they weren't being direct. Like,
She did
dude,
say
just
no.
go
She
away.
was being direct. So
Go
are you
away.
saying that she's
she
lying?
said don't do that. Yes, he was.
So don't do
overly
that is not a
persistent.
no?
Okay.
Don't do that is not a no?
Yes, it's a no.
So
To
you're
the
wrong.
room
Okay,
thing,
so,
and
so
he
you're wrong.
forced it.
Okay. So
Okay.
part of your narrative is incorrect. That the women together.
I think he dips soon. Yeah.
that she created. You're talking about
Yes,
a
but
cabal of
that's to
people.
create
She is
the
another
bias
person
of-
who interacted with Jar. So you're saying
Yes.
Thuman is also lying. So what you're saying is everybody is lying, even if they show that they said no. So you need to show them that they said no. So they all have to come to you and say, "Hey, I didn't say this. Hey, I didn't say this." Very
No, I'm
interesting.
saying there's a tribal bias against Jar's worldview.
A tribal bias against Jar's worldview. Oh my god, you're so mentally ill. You're so mentally ill. I bet you're really hung up about Netflix's one series cartoon shows, huh? I bet you were really angry when there was Black Vampire in Castlevania.
And not understanding that.
So you think that interesting. So you think that there's a tribal thing because of him being like not woke, anti-woke, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yes.
What's
Guys, the whole Cinny Bear stuff, that was all because of woke. Okay. Everybody went after Jar because of woke.
your proof for that?
But he considers himself anti-woke, and she considers herself woke.
So that
Oh my god. Oh my god.
that's proof enough for you. Not
That she has a bias against his worldview and his certain set of values.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, there's no saving this. This guy is lost.
Yes.
mm-hmm.
And I've seen it the opposite way. Anti-woke considers the woke the wrong way. Okay, they should be destroyed.
The woke, the not woke, the anti-woke, none of these things. None of these words mean anything.
So why
It's
does okay.
tribal mindset.
Okay. But why does that matter regarding
The woke mob is after my best friend. I've spent a lot of time with Just a Robot. We've been to many places. Me and him. Just a Robot goes on Joe Rogan one time, and the liberals try to stop him. Sleepy Joe said that Just a Robot is a sex pest. I don't believe that. I've never seen him sexually harass anyone.
retrospective video in highlighting the fact
Vincent Martin, great guy.
that there is evidence of Jar harassing women and doing other things in the space.
He thought he was friends with the women. Okay, it was
He thought he was friends with the women. Is crazy.
obviously not true. He thought that he used to be friends.
My friend, is there a compilation of Diesel's Trump impressions yet? It would be pretty fucking long. My friend Vincent, best defense attorney in Trump Towers. Vincent Martin, friend of women. He's never sexually harassed them. I've asked the women. I say, woman with the big breasts. As my friend Vincent, does he make you feel uncomfortable? And they say, no, Trump, no. They say, oh, we love it when Vincent talks about our feet, Mr. President. I say, of course, you have beautiful feet. Vincent's just saying the obvious.
or he could be friends. And he went to VidCon and thinking maybe I can connect with at least one of these people. Was there?
Oh my god, dude. Diesel, you're going too far. I've seen it. I've seen Vincent Martin. I've seen his Discord DMs. I've seen Vincent Martin in Discord. I've seen him in the server. He's typing with his little fingers. Look at him go. You know, look at Vincent Martin.
He's typing to that woman. He's saying right now that he wants to play Grow Your Garden with that they bisexual. Vincent Martin, tell her that thing you told me.
You've been hanging around Joey too much. Your Trump impression is getting better. No, it actually is really good tonight. Okay, that's why I keep doing it.
Come on, Vincent, tell her that thing. So I was thinking that I want to breed you and get you pregnant and send. Look at that. He said he wants to bake her bread. He wants to bake her bread, chat.
I'm just taking a stab in the dark here. Vincent's either a foot guy or like a breeding guy.
Other people he DM'd during that time, do you know? You have more insider knowledge, I'm betting.
I'm speaking specifically about the women, please. I know that I believe he says that he attempted to, but that's not the point.
God, please let it be feet. Does he not? I feel like maybe. Okay, can I get a race check on Vincent? Is he white? If he's white, then it's definitely breeding.
Insider knowledge than you, the person who made the video, who is critiquing.
You know what? I'm convinced. Free jar.
A full presidential pardon for just a robot. He didn't do anything wrong. I saw him at no Diddy parties. There was no baby oil.
Our freak retrospective, and those DMs are in the video. Shouldn't you also know that?
Vincent is white. Don't worry, I knew Vincent was white. I just wanted somebody to say it.
Again, so let's read it. I can read it if you want me to share my screen. I don't even know how to do it.
And then he leaves, and we've all seen it, but we'll watch it again.
Just the Robot says, want to meet up at 12 at the water fountain. Malware. I'm not at VidCon anymore. Go home and rest, so nah. Enjoy your day. Just the Robot. I meant tomorrow. I also left. Just the Robot. I think it closes at 9 or 10 p.m.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm good. I got a lot to do.
Now. Thank you for coming by.
What?
This is all
You're
I
ending?
have here.
You're ending?
This is a really bad moment for him to leave, and also it kind of sounds like he's scared.
Are you running? Vince, are you running?
Nope. I'm ending the stream.
My stream is still going. I've been streaming. Why don't we keep talking?
Because I don't have to, jackass. Bye-bye.
Yo! He fucking ran!
Oh, shit. Anyway, let's look at his content. Has he gone live since that happened? That was 4 days ago. What was the stream? 4 days ago? Damn. Gamergate 2 tier list, brother. Let's see. I don't care. I don't care. I want to watch his really old stuff. I want to look at something from 10 years ago. Okay. Blown the fuck out. Dude, the topic trending topic tirade. Okay, T is for topics. Dude, this is such old art, dude. It's like literally a billion years ago, dude.
Trending topics are truly the terror of the U of the tube. A torrent of Tourette's that targets the top tumorous topics. The trouble with this is that all the trend troops create a tornado of talk that turns in circles. Too many tubers take this too far. Today's trends are tomorrow's trash. The trouble is too little talent is needed for this tuber
Dude,
to
oh my god. Okay. None of you are going to remember this, right? But literally like 8-9 years ago, people were getting on. So one of the big things that people, Glupshido commentary back in the day was really pressed about people who were banging out like 10-minute plus videos that were there used to be anti-slop content, right? Glupshitto commentary used to be anti-slop content, right? And so a lot of people got a lot of shit for making slop content. They were pushed out. They did not like those people. And yes, part of the reason I'm Alex got popular is because he was doing a lot of slop content.
Off. Timing is key to this thing. That in itself is a trend.
Also, Deodor Anthony was like one of the hangers on with I'm Alex, right? And now he's not even around anymore, which is just crazy to think. But this is like such ancient lore.
This is that when no trend is around, too many tubers turn on each other to create them.
He's actually right there. When there's no drama going on, people will start fights for the sake of it.
Them down to be top.
What do you mean used to? I remember I was still trying to crusade against it. Calls coming from inside the house.
Dog. The team thing that some of the trending...
Also, dude, I just... in hindsight, a lot of the shit that Wild Spartans was getting back in the day, like, I haven't spoken to him in a really long time, but it was just like, he makes long videos. His videos are boring. Blah, 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 blah. And that would be like the gist of it. And then it was just, all I could think in like hindsight was like, motherfucker, he was like 18. Okay? I'm sorry, but like, who the fuck? Nobody's making good content at that age. You just don't.
YouTubers have taken to, it's troubling. With the total amount of control of the community concentrated in certain collection of people, it creates a totalitarian terror that too many tubers will...
This guy has got this guy's accent is not meant for this. Who is this? This is the guy who was defending Jar. What would Idubbbz do? 8 years ago, guys. Dude, this is when people liked Idubbbz.
In the aftermath.
I gotta be honest, it really is kind of crazy, but it's really like, for me personally, a lot of the content cop stuff has aged really poorly. I think the stuff that kind of works for me still is physical comedy. It's almost like my humor has gotten worse. Like stuff like hair cake or like gross out humor is like still funny. But a lot of like the content cop stuff is just like, eh.
Idubbbz content cop on Tanamon whatever. Which way will the wind blow for the commentary community?
Say nigger.
One man has seen that way. A man who joined in the great riots against Keemstar. The man who dealt Leafy's here his fatal blow.
Diesel, I've been here since your origin, chronicling your wake from slop and controversy, saying that no one remembers insults your dedicated librarian.
He has come down from his lofty Twitch stream to deliver the prophecy of the great lord of the commentary community, Idubbbz. That man is Nick Cash, maybe better known as Hey, Watch Your Mouth. His message...
Dude, nobody remembers these people.
In fact, the declaration of war is clear. Story times are bad. He's back.
I actually am having a really hard time following what his position is.
The man who dealt Leafy's here his fatal blow. He has come down from his lofty Twitch stream.
So he's like talking about it like, why? Hold on, what? Oh, so this is around the Leafy content cop, and you're saying that Idubbbz came down to like Brutus Julius Caesar? What?
Deliver the prophecy of the great lord of the commentary community, Idubbbz. That man is Nick Cash, maybe better known as Hey, Watch Your Mouth. His message, in fact, a declaration of war, is clear.
Hello, John
Story
Chairs.
times are bad.
Story times are bad.
In the drama ring, this time targeting Luna, one of the biggest storytime YouTubers that are in his league. With an over-the-top parody of one, if not all, of Luna's stories. But did he really get the message right? Like so many other fervent believers, did he misunderstand what was being said? Now, I'm not gonna pretend I'm wise enough to understand the knowledge contained in the sacred records he left on this unholy site.
This is so incomprehensible when he's like relaying these messages.
I'm not even totally convinced that he is real, and not some elaborate hoax created so YouTubers don't stray too far from the path that they should walk.
I'm Alex was actually the chapter master of the N-word bearers.
But nevertheless, there are two messages I took away from that video. That ye who says nigger in a negative contents shouldn't judge those who are just...
Oh, Vincent! You can't do that, Vincent. He what? I just...
Ye who says nigger in a negative contents shouldn't judge those who are just joking around with it. Or...
I feel like the whole context matters argument gets really, really hard with that, you know? It's like, oh. There's something really different between soft A and hard R, right? Very different. They're two different words. They have vastly different meaning.
overreacting to that joke. Usually,
So it's not like the point with what people have issue with it is that like it's not that you're saying it, it's like the punchline of the joke is that you just said the N-word, right? Like the joke goes no deeper than that. It's not making like a culture commentary on the use of the N-word and it's like colloquial use amongst the African American community, right? It's just that the joke is the N-word, right?
ends up very badly. Look how it turned out for Keem and Leafy. Their overreaction hurt them more than Idubbbz content cop could ever. People wonder why Zaptai responded the way he did. Maybe he learned the lessons of the two before him, or maybe the evidence was so damning he didn't want to incriminate himself. I would say we would never know, but recently Zaptai put out a statement on Twitter. Does that absolve him of the sins he committed? No. But it also does not absolve the sins of I'm Alex and those who misrepresented the situation as well.
I may finally have found a place where I can be on. N-word.
On the other issue, I believe that lesson has been
This is really funny.
by some. If
Oh my god, add another N-word, baby.
cracker, hoe, redskin, spit, goop,
Whoa, back it up. Back it up.
at least by some. If cracker, hoe, redskin, spit, goop, chink, faggot, and cunt are all fine to say, why is nigger so sacred? Who are the ones?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can say those things. The Infinity Stones. Dude collected all fucking 5 Infinity Slurs. I you know, man, it's just whoa.
Forbidden its use while forgiving the use of all other racial slurs? Is he trying?
Nobody's like I feel like you're just like maintaining like a level of social competency to not walk around. Like I feel like you're low barrier. I feel like you're maintaining a level of social competency to not just say these words everywhere, right?
To tell us that all men are
If you think that it's cool to say the N-word, which is an 8-year-old video, whatever, right? But if you're chill with that, go to a black neighborhood and see how that goes. Test the theory out. Are words just words, or do words have meaning?
created equal, so the insults for each and every race.
Dude, it's all for. He's the fucking avatar, dude. All 4 races. Black, Spanish, Asian, gay. I held up 5 fingers.
Equally as bad in his eyes. That those who see racism in that word really are just seeing the racism in their own heart, and somehow the effort.
Yeah, but I think the jury decided against Idubbbz in this one, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You know, I know I'm analyzing something from 8 years ago, but like I think the jury has said that like you just can't yell that in a crowded theater, you know? Like I think as like a grown person, you realize that you just can't go around being like saying these things because you'll just make people upset. It's just easier to walk through life not saying these things.
Americans are more oppressed than the Native Americans, whose land we stole and death marched them into the most treacherous lands and confined them there to this very day. Nah, I'm probably thinking too much into this.
It's crazy how Weezer was like, say the N-word. Yeah, but we hate Idubbbz, but you know, I don't even know how. Listen, man, it's not that. Just don't say the N-word in public, dude. It's that easy, right? Like, if you want to say it in private, or if you want to chance a joke with your friends, I'm not gonna stop you. Say whatever you want. But like when you go into public, if you just drop the N-bomb, and the joke is that you said the N-word, everybody's gonna go, that motherfucker just said the N-word. They're not gonna think it's a funny joke. They're gonna go, that guy's a fucking racist. All right? But if you're in a group of friends and you want to chance it, go ahead and chance it. All right? That's a big difference. The context of which the word is said matters quite a bit. Yes. But in the context that Idubbbz was using it, Idubbbz is very lucky. Why is there an Uzaki-chan AMV here? I'm very tempted to click on it. It has 200 views, but I know it's going to have like top 10 most popular centrist YouTubers. I got to click on that one. Where's the fascist? Did he delete the fascist anime one? Is he deleting things like as I'm here? Harmful opinions. Oh, here we go. I feel like this is in a different spot than it was last time. I wanna watch that. Goblin Slayer's answers Vosh's apology. ContraPoints versus J-Reg. Top 10 anime tubers. He has a Tim Pool is based video. Oh boy. Well, that's weird because Tim Pool was definitely being paid off by the Russian government. Sympathy for Synthetic Man? Oh, baby, I'm clicking on that. We'll start with that. Okay, this is definitely Definitely just an AMV. Okay, definitely just has this is just an A. I think you just can't really put like AMV stuff in here. Diesel, I think my politics are best, and therefore you should have my exact opinions on everything. Oh my god, finally the first honest viewer.
David Pacman. Bias, moderately progressive.
I'm sorry, but I feel like I want like a body, like a governing body for this, like a Pew Research or something, or like some kind of pollster to gauge this. Okay.
Yeah, I'm starting out with a progressive who is generally far from the middle, but I asked a few leftists who they thought was actually center-left or moderate at all, and this was the only one.
What's David Pacman up to these days? Is he like a hobo or working in like local cable?
One that they mentioned that I could agree with. So, I'm starting this list off with a compromise in the spirit of the centrist / moderates.
He's still a YouTuber?
No.
Damn, it's been a billion years.
Plum. Bias.
I actually have no idea who this is. Whatever the culture war is, this guy lost.
No nonsense, left-leaning atheist.
Uh-oh. Oh my god, Carl Benjamin is coming up next? Okay.
Originally, I was gonna go with Steven from Rationality Rules, but why not go
Dude, you guys remember Atheist Tube? Dude, Atheist Tube ended the day that fucking amazing atheist put a banana up his ass.
with the older version who has committed less rhetorical sins in his
Carl Benjamin is not a centrist. Well, you know, he hasn't gotten that patch yet, okay?
lifetime.
Carl Benjamin was never a centrist, and people saying he was is just him repeating that he is and just straight up lying.
YouTube market. That's probably why his last video was about beer, something to take the edge off. Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad. Bias, king of the centrists with air quotes.
King of the centrists?
Pro-Brexit UKIP candidate. Why being dubbed the king of the centrists over a year ago, I think joining UKIP and running for office takes him out of running for that title.
He shouldn't even be in the list.
But
Corny ass shit, dude. God. The fact that any left-leaning academics gave Anita Sarkeesian any time of day is ridiculous.
even if it was a meme, his campaign against the SJWs is sort of balanced by his crusade against the alt-right.
Oh my god.
And in my opinion, that makes him balanced enough to make this list.
This guy, what are you smoking, dude?
Nuance, bro. No, scratch
I'm sorry, all these guys are like blast from Gamergate's past, dude.
that. Not popular or moderate enough. Let's go with John Stossel.
No way he put Dave Rubin next on this list. I'm sorry, I'm like, who are these guys?
Bias,
Okay. All right, let's say, as a former libertarian, I don't really think that libertarians are moderates.
Libertarian, moderate.
They're like one of those goofy fake political ideologies, okay?
Right.
And all of them believe in like crazy, wacky nonsense that just would never work, okay? There's no, like a lot of young libertarians are just like moonlighting as ANCAPs, okay? They're just like, we should privatize the roads and give the country to Walmart.
This man is the archetype of libertarian. Socially left, fiscally right. Sorry, I don't
Libertarians are like Dale Gribble.
have anything funny to say about him, besides the fact he seems convinced that the market can solve everything. He's a solid reporter or journalist, depending on how you define it. I lean towards more reporter, but this besides.
None of these people, I don't think they even, are any of these people traditional journalists?
Point, who has been on the scene for many years, from doing undercover work on bad business practices, combat them, did very little to actually do anything.
Dale Gribble if he was a pedophile.
The bad business practices. Dave Rubin.
No. Dave Rubin.
Bias? Classical liberal?
That's like I can't believe anybody took that shit at Dave Rubin's word, right? Like was he getting money from Russia?
Formerly of the Young Turks, this gay man has broken
This gay man. Put a lot of emphasis on the gay there, buddy.
out of his shell to become a liberal shill for the right.
I guess? That's just something people say. I don't really believe it.
Dave will talk to anyone
Yes, he was getting a
of
majority of
any
his money from
noteworthy
Russia.
success. And as Freedom Tunes meme,
I agree with that.
PSA Stitch and Adam Friendit. Bias, left and right combine to create Captain Centrist.
Boy, this guy was one-shotted by the algorithm, dude. Dude, what fucking Gamergate turned this guy into a monster.
I felt I had to put these two together because of how incomplete they seem to be without each other. Stitch, while smart and funny, seems to have his head in the clouds. Why?
Watching this with no context is painful, Diesel.
Adam's everyday indecisiveness on a range of issues seems to balance each other out quite nicely. Both are Jordan Peterson fanboys, but don't hold that against them. Their views appear more solid and nuanced than JP, meaning you can actually make literal sense out of most of the stances they put down. Tim Pool. Bye.
Oh no. Oh no.
Bias, anti-extreme center-left. This journalist, or former journalist, depending on how you look at it, tends to attract moderates first, conservatives second, and a few anti-PC leftists out there. While his head might not be filled with luscious hair, it has many years of experience covering events such as Occupy Wall Street, and then with Vice
Yeah, but all of a sudden things change once the money from Russia started coming in, huh?
News media company instead of a high school education. His modernness comes from his hatred of authority and distrust of big money media, because that is practically the only thing he knows about outside of skating. He would be higher in this list if he didn't use the same bullshit tactics that all the big media companies seem to be so fond of nowadays.
You mean being funded by secret wealthy oligarchs for the deliberate dismantling of democracy in America? Did you mean purporting propaganda on the war in Ukraine and Gaza in order to fill a geopolitical agenda from one of the largest superpowers on planet Earth?
J-Reg, or however you say that name of his.
J-Reg.
Bias, anti-centrist. Since J-Rag claims to be anti-centrist, which is every political opinion outside of centrism, including Nazis, communism, and the equivalent of right or left in the libertarian liberal sphere, they would cancel each other out and thus make him the ultimate centrist. This inclusion in the list is to ensure that he won't be able to weasel his way out when one or all the streams come for the centrist. We'll burn in hell together. Joe Rogan. Bias.
Oh. Oh, brother. Oh, this is funny.
Left, let's all get along, pot smoker. going from far-right personalities like Alex Jones to Bernie Sanders.
So I heard this statistic. What? Who are you?
You have to admit, Joe does not have much of a bias when it comes to who he talks to. I don't know if that's due
I guarantee you the end of that joke is, despite making a blank of the population,
to his drug use, or his enthusiasm for fighting, or even his interest in conspiracy theories. But he's probably one of the most open-minded personalities on the internet, even if it comes off as a little crazy at times.
You're gonna find the edge of the world, big ice caps, cats that are knocking
I'm
things
gonna
off.
film the drop-off with my iPhone.
Counter-arguments. Bias, seeing both sides of certain issues. Why this might be an odd pick for this list? Counter-arguments deals with many political issues and topics.
it's been
Unlike
a
the
long
rest,
time
doesn't really
since I've even heard of counter arguments.
why him talking about Ben Shapiro got anyone angry at him, and him dunking on DeFranco.
Oh
Bias,
my
middle of the
god. Middle
road.
of the road.
Frankly, undecided.
Dude, the number one centrist is Philip DeFranco. Is really funny.
On most issues. This beautiful bastard is known for certain centrist phrasing like, let's talk about it. And he doesn't
Centrist phrasing as "let's talk about it." Okay, your brain is fucking fried.
take a side unless there's a clear-cut, garbage human being or beings in the mix. If he has a bias, he hides it very well.
What do you mean? He's very bold and open about his biases.
I halfway thinks he does it for the money. That niche market for moderates is a vacuum. That would put him more on the right, with basically peddling the status quo for cash. But then again, he spouts various leftist mentality and recently had a vasectomy, and that seems like a rather cuck leftist thing to do. So,
He had a child. Maybe he just wants to fuck without a condom, dude. This is a cuck leftist thing to get a vasectomy after you had a kid. I think you've already won, dude. How many kids do you need to have before it becomes uncuck? What level? How many kids need to be born before a vasectomy is cuck material or isn't cuck material? Diesel, you were right. He's a breeder.
overall, I'm undecided on that matter, and theorizing on it makes this rather boring man in my mind a little bit more lively. But
I honestly, I think he has two sons. I literally could not care whether or not a grown man gets a vasectomy. If you care about another man's vasectomy, you kind of wish you could be pregnant a little. I don't care. I have too many things going on in my life to have a strong opinion about another man's vasectomy.
Still gotta respect the balanced view that his online persona brings to the YouTube marketplace.
Wow. All right, top 10 most fascist anime. Have I seen any of these? I've heard of Saga of Tanya. Kill la Kill is like the most anti-fascist anime ever. Girls in Panzer is not. Girls in Panzer is unfortunately co-opted by fascists. Death Note, I would not say is fascist. FMA, I would not say is fascist. And Attack on Titan is definitely anti-fascist, but okay. Kill la Kill was my first anime. That's like fucking doing a one-shot at ayahuasca. All of this has to be a troll. Is this all an elaborate troll? No, we're thinking that this guy is too smart if we start thinking this is all a troll.
Now, I might have a strange way of showing that I really want to go out there and respect other people's opinions and come to an understanding of certain concepts that these commentators and reviewers have out there on the vast, crazy world internet. And in my sort of futile attempt to stay...
Yeah, I don't really feel like hearing a 32-minute fucking tirade from him. I'm sure... I don't think he is definitely... Listen... Fucking Synthetic Man is like a phrenology race realist type fucking freak, okay?
I don't understand what your point is.
Name any point in history when an executive in authority facing an emergency decided not to engage.
I don't disagree with that. What I'm disagreeing with you
Do you think that your country will be the exception that survives the conflict?
Tim, you got to let me finish my argument before you disagree with it. What I'm saying is you're extending.
Dude, this guy's like a millionaire because he was like a foreign asset. This guy should be, I'm sorry, this guy should be deported. Tim Pool should be deported from the United States. Okay? He is either consciously participated in an espionage campaign or is the unwitting patsy of a humongous espionage campaign. This guy needs to be put in Guantanamo Bay, dude. Okay? They need to waterboard him. Okay? They need to fucking waterboard Tim Pool.
The definition of war, wartime, and emergency in order to suit your agenda is what it sounds like.
You are incorrect.
Okay, why am I incorrect?
Because I've already described fourth and fifth generational warfare academic terms that describe a state of conflict in which a faction of people is trying to take power from another
that's what we
faction of
disagree
people.
about, right?
It's not an issue of disagreement. I'm giving you an academic statement as to
which
what
I'm
is.
entitled to disagree with.
There's a lot I could say about this video, but I'm going to keep it short and just say this academic statement, this claim about fourth and fifth generational warfare academic terms intrigued me because of how certain people, probably about 10 years ago, tried to redefine racism as being prejudice plus power equals racism.
If you want to understand racism, you need to talk sociology. And sociology explains racism as a concept.
So, okay, let's... So the problem with the messaging at the time with a lot of this stuff is that it was demeaning and talking down to people, right? Like, you can't, like, break through to people who don't feel they're racist by saying that your existence alone presents itself as racism. There's, like, a certain smug educatedness to it that, like, really puts people off. And you don't make a motherfucker like you when you say, the sociological association defines fucking racism as... Nobody fucking wants to hear that, okay? Okay, math teacher, all right? Like, nobody wants to hear that. But the reason that these fields of social science exist is so that way we can better understand human social dynamics and have a better functioning society. A lot of these things trickle over into policy, right? These academics are researching things using, you know, federal funding or funding via donors, right? To try and say, okay, well, this is an issue we have. We've noticed in our studies that these things exist, right? Okay, how do you define racism? Racism is when you discriminate against someone on the basis of race. Okay, what's the origin of racism? There's a group of people who have power over others, and they need to justify that power using something. Okay, they use the prejudice. That's where the prejudice plus power comes from. Now, I don't know if that's really where it comes from. That's a much better way to explain it, right? But it's like, the point of the matter is that, like, yeah, they define it this way, but it's missing. And these folk, like Francesca Ramsey, are bad at explaining the context of which these things are generated in, right? I don't know if that's where it generated from. Maybe some person pulled it out their ass from a fucking paper. But a lot of the times, these are very educated people that are looking at these things to try and define and better understand these things, so that way we could reach a more equitable or common good, right? Nobody goes into sociology and goes, I want to make the most annoying shit ever. Nobody does that, right? A lot of sociology now is dealing with how we work with tech and, like, a lot of how, like, AI can affect different people, right? A lot of things like that. So it's kind of moved on from that. But during the time of this stuff, there was, like, a attempt to take the academia and, like, communicate it out to people. But now it's like, oh, sociology or, like, anthropology or, like, how people operate together just doesn't get out at all. And really, it's just that these people did such a bad job, like, presenting it, and they were so smug.
combination of prejudice and power.
Which was a academic term.
But if I am to give Tim Pool credit, aren't fourth and fifth generation warfare determined by the types of equipment that are being used, right? Like different generations of warfare. Like we talk about fifth generation fighter jets. Like isn't that defined by the equipment used, right? So like a war analyst, a war academic who like a lot of times usually participate, isn't that like, that is an actual term because it helps codify what kind of equipment is being used on a battlefield. It's not like an academic term that somebody pulled out their ass. It like exists within the context of the equipment that's being used on a battlefield. I'm fishing for the military members in chat to respond. Okay, but Tim Pool thinks fifth generation war includes trans movements as color revolutions. Okay.
That. Still, I don't want to dismiss it outright, so I decided to look up the academics in question who theorize this particular fourth generational warfare. Now, Wikipedia isn't a great source, but
this guy's a resident academic. Listen, I'm not claiming to be like a fucking giga genius or something. I like to think that I'm at least like a little well-read and that I can convey my points in a succinct and timely manner. But, like, brother, this unfortunately overlaps with my autism. You know how some guys are like train guys? I'm a war guy. When I see a tank obliterate a small village, I'm like, that's the good stuff. Okay? When I see an F-22 Raptor do a cool maneuver, I'm like, that's the good stuff. Okay? When I see classified materials end up on the War Thunder forum, I go, based. I'm interested in that stuff on like a dumb autistic level.
Have citations for the layman, and I'm really hoping this isn't the academic that Tim is citing here. You can research the man yourself if you want, but again, this could be a case of Wikipedia using the most out there source to discredit ideas that aren't quite kosher with the left. At least that's
William S. Lind. Isn't that guy like an actual like giga racist? I have this vague memory of this guy. Why does he seem so familiar? Is this guy in a Laser Pig video? Is this William S. Lind guy in a Laser Pig video?
the narrative. Let's just say this name is gonna come up in a future video of mine. And in particular, somehow the one Wikipedia...
This guy is in a Laser Pig video. This guy is in a Laser Pig video. Oh my God. Dude, apparently this book is like insane.
As a source for coming up with fourth generational warfare is this guy. And just to let you know, this is a fictional novel.
Diesel PogChamp. I'm sorry, this is like the funniest shit ever. I mean, if you're somebody who's like interested in military stuff and you like Armchair General, this is the most like wackadoo shit ever. Okay, this is like, dude, there are people that are educated, right, that work in government, like the Department of Defense, who have the most fucking crackpot theories on the world you could possibly imagine. Like, you can't even begin to quantify how insane some of this shit is. Like, there is okay. William S. Lind, right? William S. Lind has shit like this where it's like John Army Ranger goes and fights America in a new civil war, right? And then there's the Russian equivalent of this, right? I don't know if any of you have watched Warlocracy. He does a lot of like old boomer CRPGs. Amazing channel, by the way, but he's also like a bit of an academic for Russian literature, right? And as a result of that, not good Russian literature, we're talking like Yevgeny
Yevgeny Soldierman is thrown into Napoleonic War and has to stop the Queen of England from taking over Mother Russia, right? This is insane, right? Vatniks have all these crazy theories about how the fucking Queen of England thinks that they are controlling the deep state, and it's actually the English who control the deep state, and, you know, fucking the only way to stop it is to send Yevgeny Soldierman back to the future in order to stop it. And there's like a whole bunch of books like that, right? That is the American equivalent. Victoria is like the American equivalent of those books, okay? Holy shit. Please, if you guys haven't watched Warlocracy, his stuff is great. It's really interesting to learn about, like, these weird... Dmitry Buchkin! Yes, Buchkov, or whatever the fuck, who's like a fucking political official in Russia now. This is unironically really interesting stuff. I'm sorry, it just is. Plug channel. Hold on, let me pull it up. I keep waiting to watch his review of Baldur's Gate 3. Ooh, he put out something 3 weeks ago I haven't watched. Or Marauder. I need to... Oh, wait. No, I've watched that. I'm stupid. Yeah. So this is Warlocracy. And a lot of his stuff, like, overlaps, or he pulls, like, information from Russian literature that you'd never get exposed to. It's just so interesting, because it's in the dregs of, like, media that you consume, but you would only ever consume these things if you spoke the language. Like, if English is like the global lingua franca, so everybody could read Victoria. But these books, like, how many people are like Warlocracy? I doubt there are many.
I'm going to be comparing to Left Behind.
I'm giving you an academic statement as to
which
what
I'm entitled to disagree with, right?
Just because something is academic doesn't make it correct. You would figure someone in the culture war for so long, like Tim, would understand this. There's more I could go on.
It has nothing to do with that. It's all like buzzwords to like win a debate rape, really. That's really it.
About this, like how he's using this redefined.
I don't care. Whatever. Who fucking cares about politics? Who fucking cares? I just want to see Vincent be cringe. That's really... I just want to see him say the N-word again, honestly. Let's see. Hold on, I'm looking. MLG meme montage madness. Pyrocynical prevents pedos from pirating porn. P is for pizza. Okay. Quickie. Dude, the fact that he's just got Overwatch porn in here is just really funny, too. Like... Oh my god, dude. Well, that sure was a stream tonight. You know, I guess I'll send you over to Falgi now. I ain't got much else. But we'll be back tomorrow with your regularly scheduled stream.